where we take on the most pressing, interesting issues confronting Black America. And now it's time for Hot Topics. But before we get to Hot Topics, I just want to share with you again this week our newspaper. It's a great newspaper, Black Life Texas. It's put out once a week. You can get copies of it at most of the HEBs, some of the churches, and at
Gyms.
And at gyms. It has some fantastic writing and articles in here. Some great writers. So get a chance, get a copy of Black Life Texas and take a look at it. And with that said, I also want to reach out to our producer, Carl Booker, and our new producer, Linnell Taylor. And they do a wonderful job, not only with the newspaper, but with the show, help put our show together. So with that said, let's get to Hot Topics. All right. I'm ready.
Go for it.
I'm ready.
I'm not gonna laugh.
They put me in the middle, so you both can come at me. The Color Purple. Do you realize The Color Purple came out as a novel, as a regular movie, as a Broadway musical, and now as a regular musical in the movies? Do you know any other story that's gotten that much attention? Any of them? I think Color Purple may be the only one. So the question, why? And my feeling about that is when Anne Walker,
Alice Walker.
Alice Walker wrote that book, Steven Spielberg got it and said, whoa, thank you, Alice Walker, because this is what we want. This is the kind of stuff we want to put out there. The terrible, bad black man who abuses the black woman. And sure enough, that's what we got. And so the question is that good for our culture? Is that good for our race? And I'm willing to say, no, it's not. We don't need that negativity. Certainly we know we live it, but sometimes writing is supposed to be not about what is real, but what would be a better situation for black people. So, no, I don't like The Color Purple. I don't like the interpretation of black men, and even the black woman. At the end of, now correct me, Shen, I know you saw the movie. At the end of it, Celie says,
The first movie, the original movie.
the original, I may be poor, I may be black, I may be ugly. Why would we want our kids to see that? Why would we want our young girls to see that? You know, why not? I may be poor, yeah. I may be black, but I'm beautiful. And I think maybe Nina Simone turned over in her grave when she saw that. Because late 70s or late 60s, Nina Simone said young, gifted, and black. She tied positive in with black. She tied, they didn't do that. Alice Walker tied negative in with black. And so for those two reasons, I don't appreciate the movie. I don't appreciate the novel. And yes, I read the novel, I saw the movie, and I saw the Broadway music. So have at it. Come at me. I don't care. I'm ready. You jumped on me the last portion of the show, so you might as well finish the job. So go at it.
Well, I saw the the Broadway adaptation on film. And yes, that portion of the movie, that section of the movie about I'm black, beautiful, I'm black and ugly, that was embedded somewhere earlier in the movie. But at the end of the movie, there was a celebration of family where everybody got together around this tree. But, you know, one of the things that I never hear anybody talk about, yes, there was Mr. And we have run across Misters throughout our lives. But no one talks about redemption, forgiveness. You know, those were some of the other things that came in out of the movie. If it wasn't for Mr.'s redemption, the two sisters would have never gotten back together because he sent one away to where she ended up in Africa. But because of his redemption, he was able to work on bringing her back to the two sisters reunite. And he apologized for what he did. Even in this movie, he went to her store and he apologized. And that's when she was finding out that he was working on bringing the sister back. There was forgiveness. And so I think we have hung the argument that this movie was a bad representation of Black men. Okay, so the Black man was not represented in the most favorable light. However, at the end, especially in this new presentation, and even in the original, the redemption piece was there, and forgiveness was there to where Mr. probably could have come back to Celie, not as her husband, but maybe as a friend.
But he didn't. Did he?
He came to her and bought some of her pants, and even wore the pants in the latest movie to this gathering of families. She invited him, and he came to the gathering for the barbecue, if you will. And so I think that even though there may be some dark relationships between Black men and women, I think that also there is some daylight at the end of the tunnel to where those relationships can turn to where maybe the new relationship may not be like the old one, but there is some elements to where friendships can be.
There's a lot to talk about with the making of this film. I think that when you make a film, you're making a story about a small segment of what happened. And what happened in The Color Purple to me, and I have not seen the latest reiteration of it, but when you look at what actually went on and the snapshot of the story that they're trying to tell, we would have to say that there are some instances that it did happen. But what I would ask, especially to Fred, is you had people like Quincy Jones, Oprah Winfrey, and you got those people. Do you not think that they saw what you saw? And if they did, why did they make a movie like this? And why don't we have more people making the movies like you are asking about? Where are those people at?
If they saw what I saw, they wouldn't have done the movie.
Okay.
They wouldn't have. I understand Steven Spielberg. He don't give a damn about Black people. He laughs all the way to the bank. So no, I don't think they would have made the movie. I've had people tell me, "Hey, why do you write all these social relevant novels? Why don't you just write something where you can get down and dirty and all this other stuff and make some money?" Because I don't care to do that. Money's not that important. That I always go back to my hero, Paul Robeson, who in 1935 said, "I will never play another role that is demeaning to my people because I have a bigger responsibility than just me, but I have a responsibility to my people." And if these new actors had followed, he opened the door for a lot of them, would have followed in his footsteps, they wouldn't make those movies. They wouldn't make those movies. But then the question, well, will we have any movies? I don't know. So,
Color Purple is to me has deeper messaging as to woulda, coulda. I'm looking at the wall here. You've got Do the Right Thing, New Jack City, Boys in the Hood. So was that good for the Black community? Thinking about Waiting to Exhale, Training Day, Wakanda, the Black Panther. Was that good for the Black community? So what movies are good for the Black community? One of the things that we don't hear about, and I know that he has put out a series of movies, Tariq Nasheed has created a series of movies, and I cannot think of the names of those movies, but if someone is listening, please drop a name in the comment. those are some excellent movies where he retraces Black history, but it's not getting the traction like The Color Purple is in the mainstream. So I know you're trying to produce a movie about the heroes of the Black Wall
He was a
Street.
Black Wall Street.
So what types of movies, are we really looking for? One of the things we have to admit that people who are going to acting, for example, a lot of the actors are with the goal of making money. So is the ideal of making money clouding their vision as they're reading the scripts to where they don't understand the implications? Who was telling me? Not telling me, but Viola Davis, which she never made the movie where she played the maid.
Help.
Help, huh? The Help. She wished she had never made that movie.
Because she's coming around to the thinking of Paul Robeson.
She wished she had never made that movie.
Denzel Washington plays. Think of what's happening in our society. The bad cops are the ones that are killing and shooting us. They're the bad cops. So what does Hollywood do? They take a top-notch Black actor and make him the bad cop. And to make it worse, they take the white cop and make him the angelic good cop.
And gave him an Academy Award.
They gave him an Academy Award for it. Take Tyler Perry's Mad Black Woman. Oh man, this is a mad Black woman. They got scenes in that movie. I mean, she looks like she's mad. Who's the angelic character? The light-skinned brother who's understanding and there for her all the time. My family reunion, you have the same thing. So,
Is that what we're looking for?
no, I don't think that's what we're looking for. I think that's what they give us. I think if you do a movie like we're working on, Just Loving You, I think Black America will eat that movie up because you have a proud Black father who's the head of his family, but you have all the same problems any family has, but he's there for them, and it shows that kind of family structure, a good father. I think what we did with Heroes of Black Wall Street, the same, Black people will eat that up, but we're not giving that to them because the Black actors are willing to play these other roles. Someone told me, I don't know who was, told me, may have been my uncle a long time ago. He says, when they get to Hollywood, they stop being Black. They become actors.
But even though we talked about Cat Williams last week, but one of the things that he said was that a lot of the actors are sacrificing their values to make movies,
Right.
and he started talking about male actors who had put on a dress. And it's kind of like, why do you have to put on a dress? And he said he will not demean himself like that. He said that money is not that important to him to put on a dress.
I think as you begin to look at The Color Purple, we have to try to figure out if that's not a good movie, what type of movies do we want? Do we not want to tell the stories that are maybe a little less flattering to us, both as men and as a race?
What do you mean a little less flattering?
Well, you're saying that because of the way the men were portrayed.
Right.
And I'm saying that was there not a time in history where that was not the actual case? And if you're saying that you don't want to really see that in that particular type of way, then that would be showing us in a little less flattering type of way.
I don't think they started this out with Birth of a Nation.
Right,
Birth of a Nation. Man, we look terrible.
right.
Then we go to the Man-Can Moreland and these people, the Roll Eyes, Beats Don't Fail Me Now, all that stuff. We go to that. Then we go, at least with Amos and Andy, there was one decent person. But then we go to Amos and Andy. Look at the history, man. Look at the history.
There is one movie that has not gotten the reviews that I think it should. And it's because, and I think the reason why is because of the slap. That was a Will Smith's movie.
Emancipation? Great
To me,
movie.
that was an excellent
Great movie.
Although it was a movie of a slave, his mission and her mission, his wife, was to get back together.
If he didn't have the slap, Will Smith should have probably got an Academy Award for that movie. That was a great movie. It was hard to watch. Oh man, was it hard to watch?
But you can see that black
Yes.
love was the thing that was pulling them together.
And more importantly about that is it was a true story.
Yeah, yeah. You got pictures of that brother.
Yeah.
Back
Yeah.
with all those whip marks on it. Well, back to the Color Purple. We know, we live, a lot of us have lived that life. You know, we know what's happening in our community. There's a Peruvian writer who said that the novelist, the writer, looks at the society the way it is and writes about the way it should be. Way it should be. There should be some redeeming value. Okay, you point out the redeeming value is that Mr. becomes a halfway decent person. Okay, but on the way, I'm listening to you as you break it down from your perspective, but I'm listening to a PhD break it down, okay? All the people watching it are not PhDs, and what they will see is not what you see. They'll see a terrible black man who abuses this woman, and then you'll see a poor portrayal, a terrible portrayal of a black woman. A terrible portrayal. I think I asked you all one week before. Have you ever seen Doris Day when she first wakes up in the morning? No. She got makeup on, her hair's done, and everything. That was a perception of the white woman. They didn't give us that in the Color Purple. I used to tell the faculty when we have meetings of how important perceptions are. A Shirley Temple movie. I think it's The Littlest Colonel. It's her birthday. And they say, okay, we want to take you outside and let all the little black girls wish you a happy birthday. Now you got a picture. Shirley's got a clean white dress on, hair done, makeup, everything. So they bring out the black girl. Head down like this, dirty dress on, braid. Happy birthday, Miss Shirley. And runs away. And now you got I think that came out in 1939. You got young black girls seeing that. No, there's no wonder that when Dr. Clark did the doll, that the black girls picked the white doll over the black doll. And they do that deliberately. And they're doing it today with Color Purple. And it's the same thing, just maybe a little more sophisticated.
So are people now voting with their dollars because maybe they don't like the images or the message in The Color Purple, and they might not be going to the movie because of that?
I don't know. That might be, or it might be they're just tired of The Color Purple. But, Color Purple's been around since 1985.
Okay.
That's a long time to be around. But I know some people that have a bigger paycheck than we do. I think, who was the black guy that came out and even was critical of the way the
Royce Watkins?
Royce Watkins was very critical of the way the black man was perceived. And then, like Sharon said, it might be because that one lady don't think she made enough money. Then you got all the
Taraji P. Henson.
you got all the infighting, and black people sitting around saying they're arguing about money and they're millionaires. They've totally they're not even a part of our world. They're not part of our world. They're out there in another world. And
I hope I get there, Roy.
I know you do. Me too. I know you do. So my feeling is The Color Purple should have never gotten the kind of exposure it did because of what it did in terms of dividing the black man from the black woman. And it made the black man look terrible. I don't really believe it made the black woman look that good because of the perception of them. wasn't Whoopi was pretty dumb, kind of ignorant, never looked every scene looked like she was just getting out of bed, and I don't think that was a very good perception of black men or black women. But I'm sure Alice Walker took her money to the bank just like you would, and you would have done the same thing because of the money.
Yeah, I would.
So, you were talking about something real quick. It is losing money, but I think that we're also in a period in an era to where a lot of people sit back and wait for it to come on the streaming services as well.
Oh yeah, that might be part.
That's true.
Okay, closing comment.
No, just I think that The Color Purple is a indication of movies that not that we need more of The Color Purple, we need more black movies and we need more positive black movies.
I hosted a premiere, The Color Purple. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I enjoyed watching the movie because it was entertaining to me in terms of the musical and everything, the dancing and stuff. But I have to agree with I hate to say it, with Fred. I hate to say it, but we are getting tired of these images of the bad black man, the bad black woman. There's got to be some images for the generations behind us that we don't have to look worn out all the time to where it takes years before we can see uplift. We need to see more uplifting movies.
Thank you. And
I told you it was hard.
That's a great closing right there. We need more uplifting movies about black men, black women, and black families, and not all these movies showing us at each other's throat all the time. We have to live that in reality enough. We don't need it also in our entertainment. So with that said, we'll close out Hot Topics. And again, this is Contemporary Black Voices telling our story, our way.
That's all right.
All right.